Have you ever met a woman who walks into a room and instantly changes the energy? Not because she's the loudest, not because she's the most beautiful, but because she carries a quiet, magnetic confidence that makes everyone stop and notice. That right there is feminine magnetism, and it's one of the most powerful forces you can ever embody. This kind of power doesn't scream for attention, it commands it. It doesn't chase, it attracts. And the truth is, when you truly understand how to activate that energy within yourself, you stop asking, how do I make him love me? And start realizing, he's lucky to have my attention. Every woman has this power, but most have been taught to hide it, dim it, or trade it for approval. You've been told to be strong, to compete, to hustle. And while there's beauty in that strength, many women lose touch with their softness, their presence, their ability to inspire rather than pursue. Feminine magnetism is about returning to that balance, the energy that says, I am enough, just as I am. When a woman reconnects with this energy, everything shifts. Men feel it, they sense it before you even speak. It's the way you hold yourself, the way you make eye contact, the calmness in your voice, the confidence in your boundaries. It's not about trying harder, it's about being deeper. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to unlock that magnetism, the kind that doesn't fade, doesn't chase, and doesn't beg. Because when you embody your true feminine energy, you don't just attract love, you become love itself. Have you ever felt that confusing moment when everything seemed perfect? The chemistry, the connection, the effort, and then suddenly he started to pull away? Messages got shorter, calls became fewer, and the warmth you once felt started to fade. You replay conversations in your head, wondering what changed. But here's the truth. Men rarely walk away because of something you said or did in one moment. They walk away because of a subtle shift in energy, a change that happens when a woman begins to lose her sense of self in pursuit of connection. When a woman starts to overgive, overthink, or overanalyze, she unknowingly sends a message, my happiness depends on you. And while that comes from love or fear of losing someone, it creates emotional pressure, the very thing that makes a man withdraw. Men are drawn to women who can love deeply yet remain centered, grounded, and emotionally whole without needing constant reassurance. That sense of calm independence is what keeps attraction alive. Here's the secret. Most women don't realize it's not your looks, your body, or even how much you care that keeps a man close. It's how he feels about himself when he's with you. When a man feels safe, respected, and inspired by your energy, he wants to stay. When he feels tested, controlled, or emotionally drained, he instinctively retreats to regain balance. To stop a man from walking away, you have to stop chasing his validation and start honoring your own worth. Pull your energy back, reconnect with your passions, your joy, your life. Let him feel your value instead of you trying to prove it. The moment you shift from I hope he stays to I'll be fine either way, everything changes. He feels the difference, the absence of need, the presence of power. A woman who is unattached to the outcome becomes magnetic again because she's rooted in self-respect. She no longer fears his distance because her happiness doesn't depend on his closeness. And paradoxically, that's what draws him closer, the realization that she's not trying to hold him, she's inviting him. That invitation, that freedom, is irresistible. There's a kind of attraction that goes beyond looks, words, or chemistry. It's something deeper, something that makes a man feel you even when you're not around. That's emotional attraction. It's the invisible thread that binds him to you, the feeling that keeps him thinking about you long after the messages stop. Most women try to attract through appearance, charm, or effort, but what truly captures a man's heart isn't what he sees, it's what he feels in your presence. Emotional attraction happens when a woman shows a man a version of connection he can't find anywhere else. It's when she listens with genuine curiosity instead of judgment. When she's open, soft, and present, without needing to control where things are going. It's the rare energy of a woman who knows how to make space for him, not by losing herself, but by holding steady in her own truth. A man can't help but be drawn to that energy, because it offers him both peace and excitement at the same time. You see, physical attraction gets attention, Emotional attraction holds devotion. When you create an emotional experience that feels safe, inspiring, and real, he stops looking for someone else to fill the void, because he's already found it in you. But here's the secret. You can't fake emotional depth. You can't pretend to be calm, confident, or compassionate if inside you're seeking validation. Emotional attraction begins with you, your self-awareness, your ability to regulate your emotions, and your willingness to show up authentically, without the mask of perfection. It's in the way you share your heart without oversharing your pain, the way you can express desire without begging for attention, the way you hold a boundary with love instead of anger. That kind of energy tells a man, I'm not here to take from you, I'm here to experience something real with you. And that difference is magnetic. When you stop trying to prove your worth and start embodying it, your presence becomes soothing yet stimulating. A man feels emotionally safe, but also challenged in the best way. He wants to rise to meet you. He wants to protect the connection because it makes him feel alive and appreciated. Emotional attraction is about creating polarity, a balance of warmth and independence, softness and strength. So how do you nurture that kind of connection? Start by becoming emotionally honest with yourself. Feel your feelings instead of suppressing them. Speak from your truth, not your fear. When you're fully in touch with your emotions, you invite him to open his. And when he can finally be vulnerable without feeling judged or pressured, that's when he falls, not just for your beauty, but for your energy. That's the secret. Emotional attraction isn't something you perform. It's something you radiate when you're deeply connected to who you are. When your heart leads with authenticity, you don't have to chase love. Love naturally finds its way to you. There's something deeply instinctual in every man, a drive not just to desire, but to protect the woman who holds his heart. This isn't about weakness or dependence. It's about awakening a primal emotional instinct that makes him feel needed, trusted, and valued in your world. When this instinct is triggered, a man doesn't just want to be near you. He feels responsible for your happiness, your comfort, and your peace. It's not about manipulation. It's about connection. It's about allowing him to step into his natural masculine role while you remain grounded in your feminine power. The mistake many women make is trying to appear overly independent. I don't need anyone. I can handle everything myself. And while independence is powerful, complete self-sufficiency leaves no space for a man to contribute, to serve, or to care. Men fall in love through investment. The more they give, the more attached they become. When you don't allow him to show up for you, you rob him of the very experience that deepens his emotional connection. Triggering his protective instincts starts with trusting him, not blindly, but intentionally. It's when you say, I'd love your help with this, or I feel so safe when I'm with you. Those small, vulnerable moments awaken his inner provider. They tell him, your presence matters. You make a difference. And when he feels that, his desire to protect and commit to you grows stronger. This doesn't mean playing helpless or pretending to be fragile. True feminine strength is knowing you're capable on your own, but still allowing space for a man to stand beside you. When you show that you value his effort, his guidance, his protection, you activate the part of him that wants to give more. Not because he has to, but because he wants to. And here's what's even more powerful. Men are not just protectors of your physical safety, but also your emotional world. When you're open enough to share your worries, your dreams, your fears, not in a dramatic way, but with honesty and softness, he feels honored. He sees that you trust him with your emotions, something sacred and rare. That trust awakens devotion. It makes him think, I don't ever want her to feel alone. I want to be the one she can lean on. When a woman moves through life with grace, confident, self-aware, yet open to receive, a man instinctively steps up. He feels her calm strength and wants to protect it, to guard the space where she feels safe. That's when love shifts from interest to loyalty. He's no longer just attracted to her beauty. He's anchored to her presence. Because the truth is, when you allow a man to protect you, you're not giving away power, you're creating partnership. And that's where real connection, the kind that lasts, begins. Feminine confidence is not loud. It doesn't need to announce itself, prove itself, or compete for attention. It's a quiet, grounded energy that says, I know who I am and I am enough. When a woman steps into that kind of confidence, everything around her changes. The way she speaks, the way she walks, the way people respond to her presence. She stops trying to win love and starts embodying it. That's the ultimate game changer. Most women are taught to chase confidence through achievement, through how they look, what they own, or how others perceive them. But feminine confidence doesn't come from external validation. It comes from internal alignment. It's born from self-acceptance, emotional balance, and the courage to be authentic. A confident woman doesn't need to prove her worth. She simply lives it. Her energy says, I'm not afraid of being seen for who I truly am. This kind of confidence is magnetic because it's rooted in softness, not hardness. It's not about dominating or controlling. It's about being fully expressed, fully present, and unapologetically feminine. When a man encounters a woman like that, he feels something different. A mix of admiration, curiosity, and deep respect. She's not trying to impress him. She's inspiring him. Her calm assurance becomes a mirror that challenges him to rise higher. True feminine confidence also means being comfortable with vulnerability. It's knowing that you can open your heart without fear of losing your power. It's speaking your truth gently, setting boundaries firmly, and walking away when something no longer honors your peace. That balance, softness with strength, empathy with clarity, is what makes a woman unforgettable. When you embody feminine confidence, you stop needing validation because you already feel whole within yourself. You no longer chase attention because your energy naturally attracts it. You no longer fear rejection because you trust that what's meant for you will never require you to shrink. That's when relationships shift, because men can sense it. They're drawn to the woman who knows her value but doesn't need to announce it. And here's the secret. Feminine confidence isn't about perfection. It's about permission. The permission to be real, to be expressive, to be imperfect and still feel worthy. It's the quiet smile that says, I'm at peace with myself. It's the grace to know that confidence is not something you perform. It's something you embody. When you walk in that kind of energy, you stop trying to fit into someone else's world and start creating your own. That's when you become magnetic. Not because you're trying to be, but because your authenticity radiates through every word, every look, every movement. And that, more than anything else, is the kind of confidence no man can walk away from. Keeping a man emotionally invested isn't about strategy, manipulation, or playing hard to get. It's about shifting your mindset from trying to be chosen to knowing you are the prize. When that internal shift happens, everything changes. The energy you give off moves from uncertainty to certainty, from fear to confidence, from grasping to receiving. Men can feel it instantly, and that difference is what keeps them intrigued, connected, and devoted. The first mindset shift is this. You are not here to earn love. You are here to experience it. When you approach relationships as something to win, you unconsciously place yourself in a position of lack, as if love is something outside of you. But when you realize that love begins within, that your presence, your energy, your essence are already magnetic, you stop chasing and start attracting. You stop asking, does he want me? And begin asking, do I even want what he's offering? That small question reclaims your power. The second shift is to focus on influence over control. The moment you try to control how a man feels, responds, or behaves, you create resistance. But when you lead through energy, through calmness, self-respect, and emotional balance, you influence him in ways words never could. Men stay invested in women who make them feel safe to be themselves, who challenge them lovingly, and who trust the natural flow of connection instead of forcing outcomes. The third shift is embracing detachment from fear. Most women lose connection when fear takes over. Fear of losing him, fear of not being enough, fear of abandonment. But the truth is, fear repels what love attracts. Detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means emotional freedom. It's trusting that even if he walks away, you remain whole. That kind of inner peace keeps your energy high value. It makes a man think, she's not afraid to lose me, and that makes me never want to lose her. The fourth shift is choosing feminine responsiveness over reactivity. Instead of reacting to every mood change, delay, or miscommunication, take a breath. Respond with grace, not anxiety. A woman who can stay centered in uncertainty becomes unforgettable. Her calmness becomes a comfort, her presence becomes grounding, and her maturity deepens his respect. That's emotional intelligence, and it's one of the rarest traits men truly value. And finally, the most powerful mindset shift of all: stop trying to prove your worth. Start living it. The moment you start embodying the belief that you are already enough, your energy transforms. You stop seeking love and start radiating it. You stop doubting your value and start setting standards that reflect it. That quiet confidence doesn't just keep a man invested, it makes him proud to invest. Because in the end, it's not about convincing someone to stay. It's about becoming the woman whose energy makes them never want to leave. Inspiring love and loyalty isn't about trying harder, loving more, or giving endlessly. It's about understanding that deep, lasting connection is born from how you make someone feel in your presence. Safe, seen, and accepted. Love that endures is not built on intensity. It's built on consistency. Loyalty grows not from demand, but from devotion. And devotion can only be inspired, never forced. A man becomes loyal when he feels emotionally anchored to a woman, when her energy brings him peace, not chaos. He stays not because he has to, but because being with her feels like home. And that sense of home doesn't come from perfection or performance. It comes from authenticity. It's the woman who can love deeply yet still hold her own boundaries. The woman who can nurture without losing herself. The woman who knows how to give from fullness, not emptiness. To inspire love and loyalty, you must first understand the rhythm of masculine energy. A man's heart opens slowly through trust and consistency. He commits when he feels emotionally safe, when he knows that his vulnerability won't be used against him, when he can express weakness without being judged. The woman who listens with patience instead of trying to fix him, who allows silence without fear, who communicates without criticism, she becomes the rare space where his soul can rest. But loyalty isn't just about emotional safety, it's also about admiration. A man remains loyal to the woman he respects. That respect grows when he sees her living with purpose, passion, and self-worth. When she's focused on her own growth, her own dreams, her own happiness, not as a performance but as a way of life, he feels inspired by her. He wants to match her energy, protect it, and be worthy of it. Love deepens when a man realizes he's with a woman who doesn't need him, but chooses him. And here's a truth many forget. Loyalty isn't sustained by grand gestures, but by the small, quiet moments of presence. It's in the way you look at him when he talks, the way you touch his hand without needing words, the way you stand by your values even when it's hard. Those moments build emotional trust, and trust is the foundation of lasting loyalty. To inspire love and loyalty, stop trying to impress him. Start being real with him. Be honest, be kind, be yourself, and let your energy speak louder than your effort. When you lead with authenticity, you awaken his loyalty naturally, because real loyalty doesn't come from obligation, it comes from admiration and emotional safety. And when a man feels both, when he feels safe in your softness and inspired by your strength, he won't just stay, he'll choose you, over and over again, even when he doesn't have to. Becoming the woman he can't forget isn't about being the most beautiful, the most exciting, or the most giving. It's about leaving a mark on his soul, a memory that lingers not because of what you did, but because of who you were when he was with you. The woman a man can't forget is the one who made him feel something different. She awakened him to a version of love and connection that felt raw, honest, and real. Every man encounters many women in his life, women who attract him, impress him, even challenge him, but only a few reach a deeper level of impact. The unforgettable woman doesn't try to be everything he wants. She simply embodies who she truly is. She doesn't perform. She doesn't chase. She lives in alignment with her essence. And that authenticity is what captures him. It's the quiet confidence in her energy, the calmness in her voice, the depth in her eyes that says, "I know my worth, even if you can't see it." She's the woman who listens without trying to fix, who walks away when love turns one-sided, and who can still love without losing herself. Her absence is felt not because she played games, but because her presence was peace. She's not unforgettable because she created drama. She's unforgettable because she brought healing, softness, and truth into his life. That kind of energy can't be replaced. To become that woman, you have to stop chasing validation and start nurturing your own light. Fall in love with your solitude. Build a life so fulfilling that anyone who enters it must add to your peace, not become your purpose. When a woman radiates contentment, when her energy says, "I'm whole on my own," she becomes magnetic in a way that no effort can replicate. Men remember the woman who made them feel free, not trapped by expectation, but elevated by her presence. And here's the beautiful irony. The woman a man can't forget isn't the one who tried the hardest to keep him. She's the one who had the courage to let go with grace when she knew she deserved more. That strength, that self-respect, burns in his memory long after she's gone. It makes him question what he lost, not because she punished him, but because she honored herself. Becoming unforgettable is about embodying love, not chasing it. It's about being soft yet strong, nurturing yet independent, open yet discerning. It's about carrying yourself with quiet dignity, even when your heart aches. When you live that truth, you don't just attract love, you become the lesson, the inspiration, the memory that shapes how he loves forever. Because the woman he can't forget isn't the one who needed him. She's the one who reminded him what it felt like to meet something real. Stepping into your divine energy is the ultimate act of self-mastery, self-love, and feminine power. It's the moment when you fully embrace the truth that your value is inherent, your presence is magnetic, and your life is already abundant, with or without a man by your side. Divine energy isn't something you learn from a book or copy from someone else. It's something you embody when you align with your essence, your desires, and your inner strength. When you operate from divine energy, you no longer chase, you no longer over-explain, overgive, or overthink. You move through life with a quiet certainty that attracts rather than a frantic effort that repels. Your energy becomes magnetic because it is rooted in authenticity, not neediness. Men are naturally drawn to women who radiate this kind of power, the energy of a woman who knows her worth and doesn't settle for anything less than what honors her soul. Divine energy is also about emotional mastery. It's about feeling your emotions fully without letting them control you. It's about responding with grace, not reacting with fear. A woman in her divine energy doesn't crumble under pressure or demand validation. She holds space for herself and others. She inspires, uplifts, and sets a standard without ever needing to shout it. That balance of strength and softness, confidence and receptivity is irresistible and unforgettable. When you step into your divine energy, you become magnetic, not because you try to capture someone else's attention, but because you radiate completeness. Your joy, your passion, your life become a reflection of your inner world. Men feel that energy and instinctively want to protect it, nurture it, and be part of it. They recognize the rarity of a woman who can love without losing herself, who can give without depleting, and who can invite intimacy without compromising her essence. The final truth is this: stepping into your divine energy is not about controlling someone else's feelings. It's about owning your power so fully that love flows naturally, effortlessly, and abundantly. When you align with your energy, you stop being a question and start being a force. A woman who is not just desired, but truly unforgettable. Your energy, your essence, and your presence will naturally draw the right man into your life. The one who sees your light and chooses to stay, not out of obligation, but out of pure, genuine devotion.